Alright, y'all. We're getting down to the end. I decided to do a new little calendar because that other one was getting just a hot mess. I just had stuff all over it and it was just getting a little chaotic for me. So I'm starting a new little calendar. Today is November 15th. Okay? Next week, we only see each other one time. That's it. Because we have Thanksgiving break. I know. And then the next week is our last week of classes. So I see you 3 more times after today, and that's it. After today is 3 more class periods. That's it. And then your final exam. So your final exam, your last class is 2 weeks from today, and your final exam is 3 weeks from today. And we're done. That's it. So, we kind of need to talk about what's left for the rest of the semester. Now, today, I only have like 4 pages, not even that, left of what's on the next test. So what we're doing today is we're finishing up Unit 5, which is the last test. Going over that, finish.
No, Unit 6 is the last test, right?
Well, we're having a test on Unit 5, and then Unit 6, we're just doing homework and not having a test on that.
Oh,
Okay? So,
already that made me nervous.
so we're finishing Unit 5. Unit 5 is the regression. That's that blue paper. So what we've done, in this chapter went super fast. Like some of you are going, oh my gosh, it's already over. Unit 5, which is the test that opens today, is on this, like in today. Unit 5 is on this stuff, and like the probability distributions that I talked about that said, do they add up to 1? Are the probabilities less than that we did last time? And what we talk about today, which we started talking about this right here. We started talking about last time. It was the normal distributions with the mean of 0 and the standard deviation of 1. That's really all Unit 5 is about.
Is that Unit 6?
That's Unit 5. Okay? Unit 6 is still some of that stuff too. Unit 6 is a continuation of that.
The homework is still with Unit 6 also, 5 and 6.
Yeah, okay. Now here's the thing. And it's not, up until now, like Unit 1 was Chapter 1, Unit 2 was Chapter 2. Unit 5, let me put it off to the side. Unit 5 is sections 2.4, 5.1, and 6.1. Unit 6 is section 6.2, 6.4, and a section called 95% confidence interval. So we're at the end, so it's kind of like Unit 1 was Chapter 1, Unit 2 was Chapter 2, Unit 3 was Chapter 3. Well, Unit 5 is just some little baby sections, and Unit 6 is a couple more baby sections. So Unit 5 was on these 3 baby sections. So it's not really on Chapter 5, and Unit 6 is not on Chapter 6. So Unit 5, this one was on the blue sheet. This one was on probability distributions. And this one was on that normal distribution, which we're going to finish up today. So that's what your test is on this opening today, which we haven't talked about when it's closing yet. Because all of y'all will wait until whenever it's closing. Now, this one, so you're going to have, so this is like your to-do list of what y'all have. This is your to-do list of what you have between now and the end of the semester. You have homework on all of those homework sections. 2.4, 5.1, 6.1, 6.2, 6.4, the 95%, and if there's any preview homeworks in there, okay? You also have a test on Unit 5. So you have a test on all of that stuff above us. We good? And you also have a final exam on Unit 1 through Unit 6. So you're not gonna have a test on this. You're just gonna have homework on that, because I don't wanna give you another test right before you take the final exam. Does that make sense?
We're gonna have an option review on the final exam.
Yes, I'm gonna give you an optional review on the final exam, just like I've given you for everything else. Are we good? Yay? Whether or not we yay, it's gonna happen. So, now, I'm gonna move this kind of down for just a second, if I can catch it all. So, I think I caught that piece in the middle though. Let me see if I did. Nope, I didn't. Okay, so I'm gonna come down and move this down here. So, Unit 5 that we're gonna finish up today is gonna be that 2.4, 5 point, whatever I just said, 5.1 and 6.1. That's gonna be the Unit 5. That's what I'm gonna be finishing up today. And I may even, probably will even, start some of Unit 6, because I don't even have much left. And the good news is, Unit 6 is really the same thing as Unit 5. It's just a continuation, so it's actually gonna help you even better prepare for the test.
So it's not a whole lot of new information?
Correct. And Unit 6 is only 13 pages of notes. So it's not a whole lot of notes. I mean, I'm hoping I can get Unit 6 done between today and Tuesday of next week, so that I can spend 2 days reviewing for the final exam, is what I'm hoping for. That would be awesome. Yes.
Are we gonna have the optional review for the final exam?
Yes.
Before Thanksgiving?
Yes. My goal is to have it done tomorrow. I have it out there, I just gotta tweak it just a hair and get it out there, okay? Now, so here is where, hopefully I'm gonna have every homework assignment that you have left before Thanksgiving. So hopefully, I'm going to have all of these homework assignments. Well, you already have these out there, and you're gonna have the test out there. But I'm hopefully going to have this, and the optional review all out there before Thanksgiving. Now, here's another thing that I have decided to do. I guess the niceness of the holidays have gotten me. We have to, number one, decide when we want our test to end, okay? And I have decided to open up all homework, because there's maybe a day or two that y'all didn't get 100 on something that you're looking back and going, darn, that was an easy homework. Looking back now, that I should have gotten 100 on. So I'm going to open up all homework. If you want to spend your Thanksgiving break bringing up some homeworks. If you already have hundreds, then you can enjoy your Thanksgiving dinner, okay? But I'm going to open up all homework. Now, I'm going to leave the reviews open, but y'all know you don't have to get hundreds on the reviews because those don't affect your averages, okay? So this is just the homeworks that, it'll be open, but the only ones that you need to bring up to 100 are those that affect your average, okay? So we have to decide, when do we want our test to end, and when do we want our homework to be due? So, first off, let's decide when we want our test. Our test opens today. So, our test opens here, which means you have Thursday, Friday, and you have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Now, the hub will be closed Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for sure. Let me go out here and see if the hub is open Thursday. Let's see. Okay, the hub will be open Sunday after Thanksgiving, so the hub will be open here.
November 29th.
Please.
Please.
For the test?
Yeah.
Now, what happened to y'all on the probability test? Y'all waited until the last freaking minute.
I promise I will not keep it till the last.
What about the
day.
27th?
27. I don't like that. 27. Yeah,
For the test?
Yeah.
I know, see, I was gonna say the 20th.
Oh, no, ma'am.
No.
24.
have a lot of
No.
homework for not done.
Because y'all think about it though, if we have it open until then,
I'm
then we
working
also
every
gotta start the
day.
other homework during that
I
time.
know.
And we also have to do the test. during
I
that
know,
time. That's 3 things.
I
And that,
know, I know.
You gotta be 20.
No.
You don't write 20? Oh,
That's what it is.
right there.
Because remember, all of your other classes are gonna make, so I am thinking, I know. So what you need to do is you need to say, I need to have that test done.
Yep.
Ms. Cooper said the 20th. So whatever email I send, you go and resend it to yourself and change it to the 20th. Because you don't want homework test and another chapters of homework done.
I sure don't. Okay,
So I'm gonna leave it the 24th. But just know, you're gonna have 2 units of homework. Amaya, if you need the 29th, I will change it to the 29th. Just-
I just tried to take time, but I will organize myself with other stuff.
I know, but if I need to open it, and if there's anybody else that needs the 29th, I just know if I open it for the entire class, y'all gonna do like y'all did on that probability test. I know you won't, because you got 100 average and you want to keep that 100 average and you will freak out if you make a 99. I know you.
See, on Thanksgiving, with my work schedule is crazy right now. On Thanksgiving would be my main day that I would be able to
Work.
do some homework.
Right.
I'm working every single
I know.
freaking day.
I know,
Killing
you dying.
They're
You
killing
dying.
me. They're killing me.
So,
Slaving
I will leave the 27th, but if you need till the 29th, you come to me individually and I will make that change.
You said the 27th.
So right now, your test is from today until Tuesday, the 27th, unless you talk to me otherwise. Now, I am going to leave all the homework, I am going to reopen until Wednesday, until Wednesday, the 28th. Because when you walk in here on the 29th, I don't want you to worry about anything in the past except for the final exam. So all homework is going to be due at midnight on the 28th, which is a little less than 2 weeks away. 1 day shy of 2 weeks away. And I will send y'all an email on this. So your test is 2 weeks from today due. Your homework is 2 weeks from last night due. Your exam is 3 weeks from today due. And I will tell you when my other exams are. So if you want to take my exam with one of my other classes, like I have my other exams, if you want to say, I want to take my exam with one of your other classes, as long as you don't have another exam at that time, you can take my exam with one of my other classes if you don't want to wait till Thursday. I have some of you that say, I just want to get it over with. I don't want to wait that long because that is the last day of exams. And I have some of you say, heaven forbid, let it be the last day of exams. So it's totally up to you. Or if you have 2 exams that day and you don't want 2 exams that day, you can take it with me at another time. Not many teachers let you do that, but I don't care. Are we good? So,
Can I show you my schedule real quick next spring
yes, yes,
before I forget?
yes. And, gotcha. All right.
Actually, mine's.
Jonathan, you want to take our class? That class is gonna kick your ass. Oh, I got one. Oh, your honey, that class is gonna kick your honey.
I got what you meant.
Amani, you supposed to remind me I'm on the video. Lord have mercy. All right. Now, hold on just a sec. I'm coming back. Now, let's get to, let me see what section we're on. I don't know why I didn't. clean this up before. Okay, 6-1 is where we are. Cut.
I gotta change
I go back and make sure I didn't have anything on that page. Okay, I had 2 on that page, so let me add, paste.
Oh, he's got 1 on 1.
Paste. And, okay, 2 things that I did this morning. I went over your test. I finished it about 5 seconds before I walked down here. So, this is your Unit 4 test that I went over and, reviewed. So, what you'll need to do is you will need to go out there and look at, your Unit 4, I've already done yours, your Unit 4 test and, see if your grade changed. I think everybody's went up. Some went up more than others. This was the probability test. I have not added the 8 points if you showed me your schedule yet. Right now, Simone, Josh, Naya, Amy, Kelsey, Amani, Adrian, Brittany, Ashton, Haley, Ann, and Jonathan have showed me their schedule. So if you want to show me your schedule to get your 8 points, make sure you show me before Thanksgiving. And then I'll go in and add 8 points to your lowest grade. We good? All right, so where we left off last time, and let me just do a quick review problem just to make sure we're all on the same page. We had done 2 at the end of class, 2 types. This is 6.1. This is the end of what we were doing. We did, let me show you the 2 types. 6.1, we had done a problem where, let's say it was a normal standard curve, and we want to know, find the probability if z is less than 0.78. Okay, so it's a normal standard curve, and we want to know the probability. We want to know the area under the curve if z, if our data point, if the number of jumps is 0.78. Okay, now, first thing, if it is a normal standard curve, what do we know about the mean, and what do we know about the standard deviation? The mean is 0, the standard deviation is 1. So I can go ahead and draw that my mean is 0 and my standard deviation is 1. Those are already understood. Now, my z is 0.78. So if my mean is 0, positive z's go this way, negative z's go this way. So my z is positive, which means it's going to be over here somewhere. Okay? So, my z is somewhere over here as a positive 7.8. They want my probability to be less than. They want my area under the curve to be less than. So this is what I'm looking for. We good so far? Now, if you're finding the area under the curve, you're going to use the normal CDF. So if we're finding the area under the curve, we're going to use the normal CDF. And we did a few of these at the end of class last time. Now, I did walk to the tutor room last night, or yesterday after class, Tuesday after class, and because we all have different calculators, and I wanted to make sure what kind of calculator they had when you're going to do your test. The testing calculator is going to be like theirs. It's not going to say what is your left, what is your right, what is your mean, what is your standard deviation. When you go over there to test, it's going to say you're going to do VARS, normal CDF, and it's just going to have that. So you're gonna have to know that the first thing you put in is your left, comma, the second thing you put in is your right, comma, the next thing you put in is your mean, comma, the next thing you put in is your standard deviation. So it's not gonna be like what we're used to. You've gotta know that the first thing you put in is what you shade on the left. So what do I shade on the left?
Negative
It's in the negative direction, so that's negative 999. So my left number is going to be negative 999, comma. What do I shade on the right? 0.78. What is my mean? 0. And what is my standard deviation? 1. So when you type it in your calculator, that is the way you're going to have to type it when you're taking your test. Now, the way our calculators are doing right now is we're going to do second bars. We're going to go down to normal distribution, and it's going to ask us, what is the lower limit? Negative 999. What is the upper limit? 0.78. What is your mean? 0. What is your standard deviation? 1. But when you get on your test, it's going to look like this. Ooh, I just did the inverse norm. Second bars. Normal distribution. Okay. When you get on your test, this is what it's going to look like. Let me back up so I can show you. So we can get used to typing it in this way. When you get on your test, when you do second bars normal distribution, this is what's going to come up. So you're going to do, my left is negative 999. They're not going to ask you for it. Comma, there's your comma. My right is 0.78, comma. My mean is 0, comma. My standard deviation is 1. So you're going to type it left to right in that order. So the area under the curve is going to be this. If they want a percentage, it's going to be 78.23% is under the curve. So we do normal CDF if we're trying to find the area under the curve. Cool? Now, the other type that we did at the very end of class is if we were trying to find the Z. If you're trying to find the Z, you're going to use inverse norm. And for inverse norm, you're going to do the area under the curve, comma, the mean, comma, the standard deviation. So let me give you an example of that. It's going to say something like we have a standard normal distribution. There is 72% under the curve. Find the Z-score. Okay? So if I had to draw this one, and I like to draw it just to see what I have. It's a normal standard distribution, which means we have a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. Now, this time it is telling me that the area under the curve is 72%. So that means we're doing 50% and a little bit more. Y'all with me? So that whole part right there is 72%. We want to know what is my Z-score. So I'm trying to find out what is that. So it's like we're working backwards. We were given the percentage, we're trying to find the Z-score. So that's why we're doing the inverse. Inverse, like if you get on an inversion machine, they turn you upside down. They're trying to do the opposite, the inverse. So we're going to do inverse norm of the area, comma, the mean, comma, the standard deviation. So when you do the area, we don't want the percent, we want the decimal. So when I do inverse norm, what would my area be? 0.72. What would my mean be? 0. What would my standard deviation be? 1. Okay? So when I come over here, and I'm going to pull it up so that you can see how it's going to be in the second inner. I'm going to pull up an inverse norm, And remember, my calculator was kind of different than what y'all have. The calculator in the testing room is not gonna have that left-right crap. So we're gonna do 0.72 is the, 0.72, comma, 0 is my mean, comma, 1 is my standard deviation. So that tells me that my z-score is 0.58. Now, the thing that you have to pay attention to is that when you're doing inverse norm, you must pay attention to the sign of z. Because inverse norm only does to the left. It's like Beyonce. To the left, to the left, to the left. The inverse norm only does to the left. That's what she was thinking of when she was doing the song. The distribution of a standard normal curve. So let me do another one just to show you. And I think we did this one at the end of last time. This one says find the z. We have a standard normal curve, and the percent under the curve is 0.9265. I'm on 18, number 15. So we have our curve. Because it's standard normal, that means our mean is 0, our standard deviation is 1. Now, this one gave me a picture, and the picture looked like this. The picture was given to me. It looked like that. And we want to know the z. Find z. We want to know this z. The picture was given to me. Now, because we're trying to find z, what am I going to use? Normal or inverse normal? We're going to use inverse norm. And we're going to do mean, standard deviation, and we're going to do percent, mean, and standard deviation. So what is my percent as a decimal? 0.9265. What is my mean? And what is my standard deviation? Okay. Now, when I go to do this in the calculator, and I'm going to do second enter, I'm going to back that thing up, and it's 9265, comma 0, comma 1. Now, this is where you have to pay attention. Look at where my z is on this side. So what should my z must be? Negative. When you're doing inverse norm, you've got to pay attention to this sign.
So it's always negative inverse norm is?
No. If your shading is to the left, your inverse norm is correct. So inverse norm is a Beyonce. Inverse norm only does to the left. So for that last problem, the shading was to the left, so my z-score had the correct thing. Here, my shading is to the right, so it doesn't have the correct. What I usually do is I draw a picture or I look at the picture, and when I'm looking at my z-score, I have to say, is it right based on my picture? Z-scores over here are positive, z-scores over here are negative. This one is on the left, so it's got to be a negative. So the answer to this one is going to be negative 1.45.
So all the time, all the problem like that, we have that,
The picture.
the picture.
You'll have the picture, or you'll be given enough information to draw the picture.
How would you know, like if you had to draw it, to put your.
For
Z
this
on the
one,
side?
you wouldn't know. You would be given the information on this one.
Oh, okay.
But some of them you will be given enough information to draw it. Like if you weren't given, you would be told that your z-score is above or to the right or greater than. You would be told that it would be going that way. So the main things we have to realize is if we're finding the z, it's inverse norm. If we're finding the percentage, it's going to be the normal CDF. All right, let's do 2 more of these and then I'm gonna start mixing it up. Okay, this is what this is telling you. This is still 6.1. This says that the normal CDF gives you the Z. So if you're doing, if you know the area, this is what I just talked about, if you know the area under the curve, the normal CDF